Good morning, beautiful people. It's Monday here, the beginning of a work week for me. Let's just tune in and see what the message that love is trying to bring through today is. So the message that's coming through is word for word is I want you to know that peace is possible, but it starts from within first. And it's going back to that information we've all come through, we've all seen at some point in our lives. That message of be the change you wish to see in the world. And they're talking about how true transformation on a large scale level cannot happen until we are all doing the work internally. And what does the work mean? The work means figuring out how to push through the crap, push through the BS that's been given to you since you were first brought into this world. Depending on where you're living in the world, that crap, Spirit is saying, is going to be a little different for each culture, for each household, for each community. But it's this belief that there is no purpose in the world, right? That you were not brought here for a reason. That's crap. Spirit says we have to get rid of that. Each of us are really set up. Our talents, our gifts, our way of processing information, our way of intaking information, as well as putting output out, putting love energy out, so you take in information, you process it through your system. That's all unique, how you take it in and how you process it through. But it's also unique in how you take that information and are able to push out love energy. All of that is completely unique to each individual. And there is reason and purpose behind the blueprint that you set up for yourself. You are meant to play a specific role in your community, even in your family unit. I know there are lots of family units that are difficult. There are many different roles you could be playing. You may be playing the awakener. You may be playing the trickster who helps move energy and shift it and wakes people up. You may be playing the healer, healing that family lineage, healing that ancestry. There are other roles that you could be playing too. We don't need to get into them, but there is a purpose there. And that purpose does not always require you to stay close, to stay connected. Sometimes your purpose is to shake things up by creating some distance, by saying no, by doing the loving thing and saying, I will not let this cycle continue. You're meant to play a specific role in the community that you find yourself in. And there is a specific place that you are meant to find yourself. And that place may not be geographical. For some people, it really is. For some people, there is pieces of land that are calling to them, that they are meant to be there to do their work on these pieces of land. But that place is always internal. This place where you are confident in your purpose, confident in the knowing that you are important, confident in the knowing that you are an important piece of the puzzle. And that's where we need to shift some things too, that everyone is important. In some cultures, in some instances, there's this BS kind of garbage that we're carrying around, that there are only certain important people, that some people are just extras in this play of life, that they're just making a walk-on appearance, right? And that's not true. When all of the pieces are connected in the right way, that's when we really see things shift quickly, really forcefully as well, in the right direction. So we need to get rid of this idea that you have no purpose, that this is all random, this is all complete chaos. We have to also get rid of the idea that we're meant to play small, and we're meant to keep our mouth shut, and we're meant to just be a spectator in the creation of the story around us. So those are two huge things that we need to shift. So that's really all about reclaiming our power and understanding that the words we speak, the things we think, and the things that we create, whether that's a piece of music, whether that is a pottery, something we're creating with our hands, whether that's fixing repairs on our home, that all of that does have impact on the world around us. And that when we do any of these things, without that centering of love and knowing our importance and knowing that we will have impact on the world with whatever thing we are doing, whatever thing we are creating, once we take back ownership of that, that's how things shift too. The other thing of being the change that you wish to see in the world is really about pausing, taking time to reflect, taking time to feel things through. And I like that they're using this word feel things through, because we're really in a part of our human history where we're trying to reconnect to the spiritual aspect of things, to the heart center, and get our intellect and our heart to work more in partnership, where our heart is leading the way and our intellect is a tool to help us do it successfully, to help us do it the easiest way possible, but it's really our heart that should be guiding us, right? So they're saying part of being the change you wish to see in the world is taking that moment to pause and feel it through. Make sure that you are in control of your reactions, making sure that you are not addressing hate with hate. You're not addressing fear with fear, that you are actually embodying love with every moment. And that takes pause. And sometimes that pause is for long stretches of time. And I know that this has been the case in my life, is that those long stretches of time is figuring out, okay, where is this fear in my body? Where is this anger that's not connected to love? Because anger can be very connected to love. But sometimes anger for anger's sake, we need to reconnect it to that love energy, so that actually when we express it, when we move it through our body, it's creating rather than blocking, right? Rather than blocking creation, blocking movement. So they're saying sometimes we need to take that pause and get rid of some of that family history, some of the hurt, some of the lineage, some of the trauma. Work through that. We never want to judge it. We want to acknowledge it, acknowledge the pain that it's caused, acknowledge the separation that it's caused, and find a way to the word that's coming through is accept it, but that's not quite the right word. It's more like find a way to embrace it and provide it comfort, provide it a home where it can live judgment free, where it can live as a truth, but not as the end all be all part of the story, right? It's being able to give it a place where it is acknowledged, but it's also surrounded by hope and surrounded by the understanding of we know that this happened to us, and now we are going to move forward in a way that gives that meaning, that gives that pain purpose. So we're rewriting the story is what we're doing, is when we have that, we're recreating all that information, all that stuff, that all those experiences that we had, we are rewriting the story to give it purpose. So a lot of times when things are happening to us when we don't have control, there is no purpose to it, and therefore it takes power away from us. So some of the time there is a pause that's needed so that we can react appropriately and bring more love into the world. So what they're saying again, peace is possible, but it starts within. We have to get to a place where we can accept the things that have happened to us as truth, as things that cannot be changed, but things that we can rewrite, recreate, give purpose to, and give meaning to. And once we are able to do that to the things that have happened to us in our past, then we have had the tools to rewrite, to create, and we're able to take that same energy into our day-to-day life as we move forward, as we're in the present. The other thing is what they're saying is be the change that you wish to see. They're talking about also, it is all about the present moment. It is all about embodying what you want the world to be as closely as possible, because there is all that healing that needs to take place in that in this space as well. But embodying the future that you are yearning for, that you are praying for, that you are hoping for, embodying it as much as you can in the present moment. And that's where we get back to not reacting, but creating, right? Not reacting to the darkness and the ick and the separation that's around us, but showing up and being the embodiment of what we want to see in the future. And there are going to be days we're going to be able to do that better than others. And that's where that healing process comes in. So if you can't embody it as fully as you want to, that's when we need to take a pause and take a break and do that reflection and do that healing. So I'm going to leave that with you for light and love. I hope that you find a really fun and unique way that you can embody in this moment, in this present day, the future that you're yearning for. I leave that with you with love and light.